Hey there, and welcome to the A Girl Podcast. Okay, this is the second podcast of You're All Surrounded. So if you haven't seen the first one, look in the description box and you'll see it. And there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen episode 3 and 4, then please pause and go do so now, or forever hold your peace. Okay, so episode 2 ended with Detective So's phone ringing and Daegoon's duplicate phone of Detective So's phone also ringing. So it looked really suspicious of him, and of course he didn't get caught, like I said. And then it goes on to the precinct meeting. And during the precinct meeting, I wasn't surprised when Detective So started throwing the rookies under the bus, but I was surprised when he actually gave them like 3 months. And even just 3 months is surprising because I was ready for him to just kick them out or say that he wants to kick them out. But that was until he said that he's just letting them know that they can't be detectives, and I honestly don't like his attitude as a detective, well, as a leader of these rookies. And instead of putting them down, he should really be motivating them and teaching them how to be good detectives. And then he gave them those tasks. And the first one, I don't know if I looked away or if I just wasn't paying enough attention, but why were they supposed to stay in the car for 12 hours? And then there was the gum wrapper, and when I looked at the criminal, he looked like Daegu. And during was it the second episode? But during the previous episodes, when Daegu was in the elevator going up to Detective So's apartment, it looked exactly like that. And if it really is Daegu, shouldn't he have recognized himself in the CCTV? And shouldn't he have known that while you're committing a crime, you don't eat gum? Cop Show 101. And as the resident cop show fanatic, I refuse to accept gold digging as a violent crime. Nope, it's never gonna happen. Not in my world. And Detective So put so much emphasis that this was going to be the violent crime squad and that they'd be solving violent crimes. And yet, right after he goes off and raids a gold digging class, like, how is that a violent crime? He's honestly lost all his detective creds with me. But Susan, on the other hand, gained some detective cred with me because of her dog nose. Like, she sniffed the life out of that girl's hair and found the mugwort, which I didn't know what mugwort meant until she pulled out that joint. And to me, I was like, why didn't she just say weed? But okay. I know Detective So ripped the life out of that pad to find the coke or crack. I'm not drug savvy, I'm sorry. One of the two. Wait, aren't they the same thing? And thanks to that success, the rookies get their first case. So Susun and Daegu have a stalker case, and Tae and Jiguk have a theft case at a plastic surgery hospital. At the plastic surgery hospital, Tae and Jiguk go up, and some guy jumps on Tae and he's like, don't touch me, don't act like you know me, I'm not coming back, this or something like that. And I know they're gonna stretch out the idea that Tae is gay, but then they're gonna snap it right back and say psych. And honestly, hope they don't do that. I really would like to see Tae really be gay. I hope he's really gay. Well, not the actor An Jae-hyun, but the character Tae, because it would be funny and it would be different, because I haven't seen a drama yet that had a gay character. I want one. No, actually, I take it back. I saw one. But anyway, for Daegu and Susun's case, supposedly stalking is a misdemeanor, and they can't do anything to the stalker unless they have evidence of him threatening the victim. So Susun volunteers herself to help the victim to find evidence to put the stalker away. And of course, old jerk, Daegu refuses and says that it's not their business and that they can't do anything and they should do it by the books. But Susun says that as a man, he just doesn't understand because he's never been a victim. And when she said that, I was all in the background like, right, girl power. And even after that, after all my girl powering, Daegu still didn't do it, so Susun had to blackmail him, and that's beautiful. Well played, Susun. So they make a plan to provoke the stalker and to catch him on tape and video being all stalker-like and being all violent. But unfortunately, the plan failed and the stalker decided to be calm and understanding at the oddest moment ever. So Daegu and Susun ended up having to stake out the victim's house to wait on the stalker's move. So while they're staking out, Daegu, the genius, decides to look at the stalker's SNS and says he's going to get an analysis off his comments and posts. Like this is Criminal Minds or something. Like, no, stop that, Daegu, right now. And after a while, Susun falls asleep and there's the background music. And Daegu looks at Susun, who's sleeping, and Susun is snoring and she rubs herself as if she's cold. And I'm like, oh no, Daegu, you better not start acting nice right now. I swear to God, if you act nice, I will not. I can't take it. You better not start acting nice now. And then he starts taking his jacket and I'm like, oh no, ew. You better not put your jacket on her. Ew. But thankfully he just throws the jacket over her face and I'm like, oh, thank God. That's the Daegu I hate. Okay. So it's 12 o'clock comes and his Daegu's alarm goes off and he wakes up Susun to tell his analysis and saying that after 12 that the the stalker won't come and that's against his routine. And then Susun is of course a little bit against it and she's like, I don't know, seems a little bit sketchy. And Daegu's like, no, I'm right. Of course I'm right. I'm a genius. And he says he's as sure as the earth that orbits the sun. And I'm like, okay. You think you're right, but I know you're wrong. And of course, Daegu was wrong, and Mr. Stalky Pants comes up to the victim's house and picks up the victim. And the victim, thinking that Susun was going to follow her, texted Susun, but Susun was actually on the phone with some landlord lady. And the victim gets into the car thinking she's all safe and stuff, but instead she gets stabbed in the stomach. Poor her. Now I'm totally gonna blame it on Daegu, the wannabe profiler, because even I knew he was wrong about the stalker. Because even if he was right about the stalker's behavior, he should have known that under stress and when provoked, criminals almost always change their behavior. And like, if you're such a genius, how did you not know that? Like, I've seen enough Criminal Minds that I should be a certified profiler. So Daegu, if you want to try me again, don't, because if you try to out-profile me, I'll prove you wrong again. But instead of accepting his mistake, he just ravels and goes berserk on Detective So. Then again, Detective Soul did kick the hell out of him. And I was just expecting Detective Soul to do something to Susun, but at the same time I was so conflicted because I was thinking, would he hit her? No, he wouldn't hit her, would he? But then again, she is a hubei. But a man shouldn't hit a woman. But it's not right for him to hit Daegu either. Oh, 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 never mind. I give up. It's just not right. But of course, after Daegu chokes the life out of Detective Soul, he goes scurrying away like a wuss. And his mother delusion totally agreed with me because she called him a coward for leaving while he cried his eyes out on the beach. Okay. Alright. High five, mother delusion. High five. But he does decide to come back. And of course, the first day that he comes back, he argues with Susun so much that Tail has to pull the old handcuff them together maneuver. It's one of my favorites. But anyway, they go off to the restaurant, which has the crappiest customer service I've ever seen. Hair in food? No. Like, if I was to find a hair in my food, I would never eat it. I would have demanded a new plate. But instead of that, the lady put her disgusting fingers in that guy's food. And she had the audacity to kick the guy's box of hairspray. If a woman like that really exists, I would really kick her in the face. That guy had the worst day ever. So I wasn't surprised when he turned the restaurant into a hostage situation. But if it was me, the restaurant lady wouldn't be free. She probably would have been my only hostage. And even in a hostage situation, when your rookie's lives are at stake, Toad has been able to annoy the piss out of me and continuously complain the shiz out of everything. Like, can someone please hit him with a megaphone just to shut him up? Cause I'm about to throw him off the nearest mountain. But just when I thought Toad was the most annoying character in the show, we've discovered the spoiled, snobbish, rich high school girl who takes it upon herself to act like the rudest brat while a knife is still against her friend's throat. Like, what are you doing? Sit your squatting butt down before the cycle lights up this restaurant brighter than my backyard on the 4th of July. And I can't understand why the rookies handcuffed themselves. Daegu and Susun were already handcuffed, so it's obvious that they were cops. But Jiguk and Tae weren't so obvious, so they didn't have to reveal themselves. But it's actually not that big of a deal since it all turned out alright, with Susun giving a speech about judo and learning to fall, and all the rookies looking at her like she's a hypocrite because not too long ago she turned in her resignation, but then she started arguing with Daegu then and there and started crying, which made the psycho or the guy start sympathizing with them. And the funny thing is, all throughout the hostage situation, I couldn't really get afraid or like be that scared because the actual actor Park Min-ho, his dimples are just so mesmerizing. I just cannot be afraid of them. Like, even when he was getting angry and when he was like sucking his teeth or making a face, his dimples just popped up and it was like, oh, so cute. It was like, oh, you're so cute. You have a knife to her throat. It's so cute. It's cute. Oh, actually, that's not cute. Even if he has a pretty face, that is completely unnecessary. Violence is unnecessary. Remember that, kids. Dimples does not give you the pass to be violent. But anyway, Minho, your dimples are cute. Call me. Not Minho, your dimples. Alright? Ring ring. Anyway, And during the emotional commotion, the psycho ends up putting down the lighter, and then Susun ends up spilling the hairspray, and Daegu gets free from the pole. So then they end up tackling the psycho, and then cue the epic title reference.
Choshik, don't move. You're completely surrounded. Oh yeah.
That was actually one of my favorite parts of the episode, or this week, because it was just awesome. It's just funny. It's hilarious. And then after the criminal is taken, and then that's when they realize that Susun's resignation letter is still on Detective So's desk, and she doesn't want to quit anymore. And then Daegu says that they have to go and fight it, and I couldn't help but finally let him on my good side, because the acting that he did with Susun in the restaurant, acting as a couple, and with him being all nice now, it's just too much funny. I mean, it's too much good for him to not be on my good side. I'm sorry. And hopefully he doesn't go back to his jerkness, because I'll throw him off the same mountain as Toad. I'm not kidding. This has been the A-Girl Podcast. If you like what you heard, give me a like, share, comment, and please be sure to tune in next week. Bye bye.